Welcome to the Mortgage Podcast, where we give tactics, strategies, and inspiration to get you to 10 plus loans per month. We talk a lot about how to make a ton of money in mortgage while also being happy and thriving in your personal life. If you want to be a mortgage millionaire, you're in the right place. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the final chapter of the book Dare to Sell, written and told by Todd Screama, Chapter 9, Before and After. 4 months had passed since Lauren's world shifted. 4 months since she decided to stop playing small. Her phone buzzed. It was Jim Reed. She smiled, answering, "Hello." There was a long pause before Jim finally spoke. "Wow." Lauren furrowed her brow. "Jim? Just wow. Are you okay?" she asked, half laughing. "Oh, I'm more than okay. I just watched the video you sent from Peru, documenting the trip, honoring your friend. It was incredible. And then I saw you closed your first 10 loan month here. What a month, Lauren. You should be so proud. I'm very proud of you." Her throat tightened. 10 loans. It had once seemed impossible. "Thank you, Coach. That really means a lot." Jim's voice softened. "What changed?" Lauren hesitated. She had told no one of this before. "I haven't told anyone, but the day Rachel was diagnosed, I had already drafted my letter of resignation. I was going to send it the next day." Silence. Jim finally asked, "Really? What happened?" She took a deep breath. "You're going to think I'm crazy, but that night, after Mark told me about Rachel, I had this moment of absolute clarity. It was like I was watching myself from above. I saw how stuck I had been, blaming, avoiding, playing small. And then, right in front of me, Mark wanted to honor Rachel. And here I was, about to quit. Jim, I felt so ashamed. That night, I made a vow. No more pity parties, no more excuses, just action. I've learned so much from Summit, from you, Todd, and all the coaches. But the truth is, I wasn't ready before. I was too lost in my own self-doubt. Thank you for being patient. Thank you for seeing the change." Jim left out a slow breath. "Wow, another deep question. What can I do for you?" She smiled. "Actually, what can I do for you?" There was a pause, and Jim spoke again. "Let me think. Actually, I know exactly what you can do." "What is it?" "Do you know Jacob? He's out of the Reading office. I met him a couple times. I see him on the Friday calls. He needs your story. He's where you were a few months ago. Would you be willing to spend half a day with him? You might just change his life." The weight of the moment settled over her. "Well, you changed mine. I'd be honored to." Jim's voice wavered slightly. "Lauren, your transformation, it inspires me. It reminds me why I do what I do. Thank you." Lauren swallowed, a lump in her throat. "Before we go, can I tell you something?" "Of course." She exhaled. "I finally figured out my mission." Jim smiled through the phone. "I can't wait to hear it. My mission is to close 12 loans a month, save $3,000 a month towards my $5 million net worth goal, give $2,000 a month to the Peruvian families, while dedicating 3 weeks a year to helping young men and women grow up with gratitude in their hearts." A long silence followed. When Jim finally spoke, his voice was thick with emotion. "Lauren, that is a life worth living." She smiled. "Thanks, Coach." Ladies and gentlemen, this chapter, Lauren's putting it all together. She has learned to sell better. She has learned to target market. She's learned how to go deep with clients right away. Because of all this, she's doing more loans, but at the same time, she is doing something in her life that created a mission. And then she combined both those things into what I call a life mission statement. It's usually 2, 3, 4 sentences, and it summarizes in simple terms why we're doing what we're doing. And I've seen so many people go through this, not enough, but when it happens, it's magical. And I want you to think of it as a combination of learning from people that are ahead of you, learning new skills yourself, and adding purpose to it. When you do those 3 things, that's when I call it the lift the lid moment, right? The lid comes off our head and we're like, my God, I'm going to a different level in my entire life and my career. And
It's hard to put that into words, so I put it into a story because it's really something that we have to feel. Now, I don't know what that is for you. My encouragement is to follow it. And I don't think it needs to change the world. If you look at Lauren, she just wrote down her goals on what she's going to do in business and then tied part of her business to her giving that supports something that she's passionate about in her life. That's all she did. It's not that complicated. And so, what's behind all this? If we change our beliefs, we will change our life. Some of the beliefs that she obviously went through is I can change. I can be of service to others. I can truly help others beyond what I ever thought before. And when we start changing our beliefs, we start changing our actions, and life becomes bigger. Becoming a person of influence is about organization, skill development, and implementation. And any of those three things we can all do. Success is not predestined, it's learned. Now, at the final end of the book, I kind of do a book summary. So I'm going to read that. It's a couple pages long. It's called the Author's Note. Lauren's journey is something we can all connect with, whether you're just starting out or you're in the thick of it or clawing your way out. Her story feels familiar. Sales, especially 100% commission sales, is one of the most brutal professions out there. It pushes you to face your deepest fears, confront your self-doubts, and test your resilience every single day. Many of us enter sales because we believe in its potential, the opportunity to earn a significant income and achieve freedom. And we're not wrong. Few professions offer the financial upside of sales outside of business ownership. But where business owners face the constant risk of failure and losing everything, salespeople face a different kind of pressure. The truth is, failure rates in sales, particularly commission sales, is staggering. While the exact numbers vary by industry, it's safe to say about 80% of people drop out in the first 5 years. This can leave you feeling scared, lost, and questioning your own abilities. I'll never forget my first sales job. I was 16, going door to door, and in 3 months, I didn't sell a single thing. It was humiliating. Yet, for some strange reason, I tried again, and this time it worked. For anyone to succeed in sales, it takes three major ingredients. Number one, massive activity. You need to make 10x the calls most people think it takes to get results. Consistency and volume are non-negotiable. Number two, mastery of a sales process. In every industry, there are core processes you need to master. In mortgage, for example, you need to know how to book appointments, present to referral sources, and close the borrowers. This mastery doesn't happen overnight. It requires at least 100 hours of deliberate practice. Most people simply won't commit to this level of effort. Number three, likability. People need to walk away thinking, wow, I like that person. They're impressive. Call it charm, call it presence. It's the X factor that makes most people want to work with you. Even with these elements in place, failures will happen daily. That's the nature of the beast. But the secret lies in treating sales like a science, a predictable equation, not something you just wing. Once you know your sales math and understand what's required, you'll approach your work with clarity and confidence. The world is getting more and more competitive and aggressive by the day. If you're not improving, your risk of falling into a job you despise, whether it's a cubicle or hard labor. Sales offers more money, freedom, and fulfillment than most careers, but you must put in the work. No one can do that for you. I'm so passionate about this because I've seen so many people fail, not because they lack talent, but because they didn't develop one or two of these skills. Often, success comes down to fixing a single gap in your approach. Take this to heart. If others in your field have achieved greatness, so can you. Jim was a grocery clerk. Lauren wasn't supposed to be a national leader. I was a farm boy with no direction. None of us were destined for success. We just wanted it so badly that we became relentless about it. We became relentless learners. You can do this too. I believe in you. Finally, in this book, if I've added value to your life, please share it with a friend in sales. Together we grow. Thank you for reading. God bless. Todd Squima. Ladies and gentlemen, as a follow-up, I've got some characters in here, and I want you to stay in touch with them if at all possible. Of course, one of them is me. You can follow me on social media. My favorite social media is Instagram, personally, but you can friend me if you want to. I do 3 public talks a year if you're interested in that. If you want to get on my email list, or if you want to come to one of our twice a year sales training events that are 2 days long, or if you're a loan officer and want to interview with Summit, you can email me at toddscrima@me.com. TODDSCRIMA@me.com. I also have a podcast called The Mortgage Podcast with Todd Scrima. That's another great way to get information where they're 10 to 15 minutes long, and you can learn from someone who's been doing mortgage for a very long time at a very high level. Robin Lavasser is our EVP of sales. So you can find her on social. She also does a couple talks a year. She also has a podcast called Wild, but with Robin Lavasser, that's on Spotify, Apple, and Amazon. And you can also reach Jim Reed, who is our head coach. He is on social media as well. He's got a YouTube channel, and he runs Next Level Coaching, and they put on events twice a year as well. And you can reach him at jreed, JREED, at summitfunding.net. He does coach in that company. He coaches realtors and he coaches loan officers, and they have different levels of coaching. So this is one of those passion projects for me. Of course, I didn't have to write a book, but I believe that when you document things, they help transfer skills and they help transfer information. I hope that you read this and you were like, man, I'm going to do some of those things. I'm going to really work on this. Or I'm going to take this part from this book. One last tip for me is whenever I read a book, I will set aside time. I'll read it on audio. I will take notes, and then I will decide the 1 or 2 or 3 things that I will implement from that book. I think it's one of the better skills that I have is learning fast and implementing fast. So that is a tip from me where you can hack your way through and just get a little bit better every single day, every single month, every year. And that's how we build a great career, but it's also how we build a great life. So I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope that you subscribe and reach out to us and ask us questions and give us a chance to improve your life. Thank you very much for listening. Make it a beautiful day, month, and life.